What's up, guys? Jody Dean here, Mr. Hunting the Dead. Welcome to another video. Famous serial killers. This is number 2 for me now. So by so many requests, I decided to do Ed Gein today. The serial killer who inspired 3 classic horror movies, Psycho, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Silence of the Lambs. All pretty brutal movies. Now, apparently, Ed Gein would keep organs from his grave digging and murders as decorations and keepsakes. It was said that Gein had furniture in his home that he covered in human skin. The furniture was made from human skin. So speaking of Gein's home, it was said to be unlivable. Clutter on top of clutter, grime on top of grime, children's toys everywhere. It reeked. It was filthy, nasty, dirty. Now, even though it is believed that Gein definitely killed more than the 2 people he confessed to, he did only confess to Warden and Hogan's murder. So Gein was very, very close to his mother, who was a hardcore Christian. And his brother gave him a hard time about this, would make fun of him, call him a mama's boy. We do know that shortly after that his brother did die in an unexplained forest fire. So do we kind of sense that maybe Gein had something to do with that? I think after finding out what other stuff we know about him, I would say that he probably killed his brother. Let's see what Wikipedia says about Ed Gein. Okay, so August 27, 1906, Gein was born. He died on July 26, 1984. 84, the year I was born. Also known as the Butcher of Plainfield, was an American murderer and body snatcher. His crimes committed around his hometown of Plainfield, Wisconsin, gathered widespread notoriety after authorities discovered that Gein exhumed corpses from local graveyards and fashioned trophies and keepsakes from their bones and skin. Holy fuck a moly. So Gein confessed to killing 2 women. There was the tavern owner Mary Hogan in 1954 and Plainfield hardware store owner Bernice Warden in 1957. Gein was initially found unfit to stand trial and confined to a mental health facility. In 1968, Gein was found guilty but legally insane of the murder of Warden and was remanded to a psychiatric institution. Wow. It's crazy how much of the remnants of Gein is in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As anything, people embellish and these things are a little exaggerated. But the essence of Gein is definitely captured in Psycho, definitely captured in Texas Chainsaw, and The Silence of the Lambs. I mean, you can definitely see the inspiration there. Alright, so this son of a bitch died at age 77 on July 26, 1984. He is buried next to his family in the Plainfield Cemetery in a now unmarked grave. I wonder if anybody's gonna go dig up his body and take his organs as a souvenir. That is just crazy. So he shot the tavern owner. Okay, he shot her with her .22. She died. He dragged her back to his house. Not sure what he did with her, if he turned her into furniture or whatever. That seemed to be this sick son of a bitch's thing. But what's crazy is he lived a pretty quiet life. He was very secluded to his home. And what was crazy to me is I seen where somebody said that locals used to ask him to babysit sometimes. Oh my God, can you imagine leaving your baby with somebody like this? You truly don't know anybody, folks. You should be the only one who ever watches your baby. That's just my opinion. So the body of Beatrice Warden was found in Gein's shed. The sheriff came out there and found the body hanging upside down, headless. So Gein quietly went into custody. There was no fight there. It was what it was. His house was finally showed light. They finally got to see what was in this place and what kind of conditions it was, and it was pretty obvious that there was a major problem here that nobody knew anything about. And can you imagine the people that let their children come over and stay with this guy? The detectives found a fresh human heart on Gein's stove, cooked and ready to be eaten. They also found human skulls that were hollowed out for to be used for like drinking bowls, like a Viking type of way. They found human skin, reupholstered furniture. They found an ice box full of human organs. So I mean, oh my god, dude, that's a horror movie image right there. There were 9 people's faces found that Gein had cut off and made into face masks, and one of them was Mary Hogan's. They found approximately 15 bodies, pieces of bodies in Gein's home. There were even things like vests made out of cadaver. It was just like the worst thing you could possibly think of, the worst image you could come up with. If you sat down and said, I'm going to make the goriest horror movie ever, I guarantee you couldn't come up with something like this, because minds aren't supposed to think like this, guys. So eventually, Gein's name and this situation was taken advantage of. People were coming in. They bought his vehicle to exhibit it throughout the West as I don't know, to sell tickets to see something completely morbid. There was even a gentleman who bought Gein's house and turned it into a museum where you could pay an admission to come in and see these horrors. But eventually, there was an unexplained fire set to Gein's house, and Sheriff Warden, whose mother was murdered by Gein, took his time to get there to the residence. So, mysteriously, right? There was nurses that said that Gein seemed like a nice, harmless little man, and he was a little man. I think he was like either like 5'2", 5'4", something like that. He was a little guy, a little farmhand, going around helping people with their farms, finding work, and there was a lot of people that said that he always had this really creepy smile that would come out of nowhere, and it was a little worrisome for some. But it seems that Gein spent the rest of his time there, and these professionals worked with him like he was their prize trophy. And he always said some kind of crazy shit. That's what I get from it. Well, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Usually I'll end these things with doing a spirit box session, but I just don't have time to do it today. I figured I would let you guys be the one to tell me if you want me to do a spirit box session, reaching out to Gein, reaching out to his victims. And if so, guess what? You're going to get another Texas Chainsaw inspired video. So be sure to subscribe, leave likes on it, leave comments below, share, htd4life.com for your Hunting the Dead merchandise. Become a patron on Patreon today for as little as $1 a month. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'm out of here.